ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Golden Kamuy episode 9. And I gotta say, what an episode, especially after what has been revealed with Tsurumi and his connection to Wilk, Sofia, Kiroranke, and their past. Honestly, gotta give it to Golden Kamuy for another great episode. So let's get into it and see what happened. Now, before I get into the Tsurumi stuff, I also see that Sugimoto's group is getting a bit closer to Ashiripa. Seems the reunion should happen pretty soon, maybe when the prison escape plan happens. And I'm still liking Koito and Sugimoto's interactions, because we have Koito over there seeing a young reindeer, likes it quite a lot, and Sugimoto has the brilliant idea to put some harnesses on Koito to make him look like a reindeer. Gotta love the small comedic moments in Golden Kamuy, especially the interactions between the characters. Now, we also see back in prison, the plan is starting to move. Kiroranke and Sofia are communicating with letters. We also find out about some allies. They might be in the prison also, and outside of the prison to meet with them in Russia. So the plan is starting to move. Now, I don't know what exactly Kiroranke meant, or if he's gonna keep his word when they were talking about the gold. He said the gold is gonna benefit every minority, all the tribes and so on, but I don't know. Is he gonna keep his word? What exactly? How will it benefit everybody? A lot of questions. Let's say everybody gets the gold, they're successful. What's gonna happen with it? What comes after? I feel like that may be the biggest question in the series. Let's say somebody gets to the gold, then it's gonna be very interesting. But that's a bit far away. Let's get back into what happened with this episode. We even see, like I said, the plan has started. Shiraishi infiltrating in the prison, being Shiraishi, the escape king, dropping some Nivk clothes, some Ainu tribe clothes for Sofia. We'll see that Svetlana, the daughter of the old couple that had the lighthouse, is still with Sofia. Maybe she's actually gonna get saved. Hopefully, I would love to see a reunion between her and her parents. Now, this is where things are getting interesting, because we found out more about Wilk's, Kiroranke's, Tsurumi's past, especially how they got into Japan, what happened, a bit of their history after the assassination of Alexander. And this is where we meet a young Tsurumi. That's the biggest bombshell I didn't know. Right at the end of the episode was dropped. He went by the name Koichi Hasegawa. Also see, he had a family, he was a photographer. He was actually enjoying his job, so to say. That's my first impression I got from him. And we have Kiroranke, Wilk, and Sofia go to his shop, wanted to take to have their pictures taken, and they also start bonding with him and his family. They want to learn Japanese from him about the history of Japan, the culture, and so on, just to get familiarized with the Japanese culture. Now, some priceless moments with them learning the language, especially Kiroranke. I almost snorted my nose out when he was just pretty serious, stood up, and me like fat chicks. He was at least honest and blunt. Gotta know what you like and go after it. But yeah, they were starting to learn Japanese. We also find out more about Wilk and Sofia. We see some names: Grigori, Zoya, their real names. And slowly and surely they're starting to learn Japanese. Zoya or Sofia a bit slowly, because she wasn't really interested in it. We also find out that she's nobility, and even young Hasegawa or Tsurumi was very smart, because the more time he spent with them, the more he learned about them, the way they were acting, interacting with people and their environment, always paying attention to everything around them. Yeah, he was pretty deductive, so to say, observant, even when he was young, Tsurumi. And if you know Tsurumi right now, the way he's manipulative, very smart, knows how to handle a situation, very good with tactics, strategies, planning, and everything, kind of makes sense with Tsurumi being Tsurumi, and especially what happened in his past. Now, we also see that he finds some posters with the wanted posters for our Wilk, Sofia, and Kiraranke, but he doesn't really do anything, so to say, at the beginning with them, and find out a bit more of the beginning of the revolution from the Russian side. There was this category of people, or the way they were being categorized in Russia, serfs. They were kind of like half slaves, half peasant, with no rights, sort of like the lowest of the law, without calling it slavery. And the revolutionaries wanted to get them to join the revolution, but they didn't want to because of their religious beliefs. They still thought that the king, the emperor, was still a part of God, or the messenger of God on earth, and that's how the assassination started, to prove to them that he's in fact mortal and not some god or higher being in that sort of way. That was the beginning of the assassination plan, so to say. Now things are getting interesting because we have Tsurumi, or Hasegawa, sending his wife and kid away, and we see some soldiers also show up, but fighting starts. And at the beginning I was actually thinking that they're there for Wilk, Sofia, and Kiraranke, but no, they were actually there for Tsurumi. Apparently he was a Japanese spy. That was a bit surprising, so to say, and he was ready. Fighting starts, they actually kidnap one of the soldiers, and the camera he was so proud of, Tsurumi, was in fact a Gatling machine gun, because why not? And they start mopping the floor with all of the soldiers, killing them left and right, just so none of them escape and bring more informants. And from the one they grabbed, they actually find out they're there for Tsurumi, like I said. And this is getting a bit tragic with what happened, because during the confusion or the clusterfuck that was happening there with the fight with the soldiers, Hasegawa's, or Tsurumi's wife, Fina, even though he told her to go away for a while things settled down, she came back because she saw the posters on the ground. And during the confusion, she got shot along with her baby by Sofia by accident. And Sofia was just completely devastated. Imagine having to actually kill a person you were attached to, that you spent time with, you cared for her and her child, which Sofia was also very attached to the child. She was actually smiling, spending time with the kid, enjoying herself. And tragedy struck, accident. Granted, a million things had to go wrong, but they went. And yeah, both of them get shot by one bullet from Sofia wanting to kill the soldiers. And this is where Tsurumi, or Hasegawa, comes in, and you can see him. He's very cold. He still lets them leave, accepts the fact that it was an accident, but you can feel the pain in him and how he closed himself off even more from that moment. I feel like that moment kind of turned him into the person he is today. Even though he was a spy, I don't think it really mattered, Japanese or Russian side, at that point for him. He probably got very attached to his family, even though he might have used Fina as a way to set up his cover. He was still his kid, so no matter what, he still lost something very important to him. Now they leave, as in Sofia, Kiraranke, and Wilk. Sofia decides to stay back because she still blames herself, planning to fight as a revolutionary back there. And the main reason they were also there because they wanted to see the Strait of Tartary. Even Kiraranke mentioned it to his group back in the present, with him, Ashiripa, and Shiraishi, and Ogata. they want to see if it's gonna freeze over again so they can cross into Russia and meet up with the allies. I don't know what's gonna happen if they actually go to Russia, what welcome they're gonna get, but that's sort of the plan after they bust Sofia out and everybody else, and hopefully Svetlana, because I would love for her to be out. And that's why Sofia remained behind. We also find out that she was in love with Wilk, and after she found out in the letter from Kiraranke what happened to Wilk, you can see her actually crying, feeling pretty sad, and probably still blaming herself for what happened with Wilk and everything else. Now, in the last moments, we see Tsurumi, or Hasegawa, tells the truth to Fina, his wife, his real name, and this is where the bomb drops. Tsurumi Tokushirou. I wasn't expecting him to be Tsurumi. He felt familiar, but I couldn't really place him. We've seen Kuren Tsurumi with his wound. We saw him during the war without his wound, but he still looked the same with the mustache, the hair. But now he was very young. I kind of got the feeling he was looking more like a slimmer Tanegaki in a way. But yeah, I really wasn't expecting him to be Tsurumi. But yeah, a pretty good reveal, and gotta give it to Golden Kamuy. Another character focused episode, especially with Tsurumi, and the big reveal at the end. Find out more about the past of the Russian side, so to say, and things are getting a lot more interesting since the plan to bust Sofia out has started. And yeah, Tsurumi also burned his house down along with the dead bodies of his family, and I feel maybe that's when he joined the army. I don't know, and I don't even think Kiraranke knows. I'm sure he doesn't know Kiraranke or Sofia. I'm curious when they're gonna meet, if they're gonna talk about it, or is Tsurumi gonna mention it, because he probably remembers. They didn't know his name, and they probably didn't make the connection now, but he has to make the connection with Kiraranke, and probably even Wilk. Wilk is dead now, granted, and Sofia. I feel like Tsurumi definitely has another plan up his sleeve, or probably multiple plans, because that's the kind of guy Tsurumi is. Honestly, a pretty good episode. Please, I highly recommend Golden Kamuy. Please watch it. You're gonna enjoy it. Most people have an issue with the bear, but it's worth it to pay the price of that first episode bear. Now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series I follow. Now, keep enjoying Golden Kamuy. I'll see you again on the next one. Bye bye.